Hello, I'm Jocelyn Kochi, and today's tutorial is for an intermediate level piano solo called Danger Zone. It's the title piece from the Danger Zone collection, which I wrote a few years ago to engage the students in my studio who were asking for dark, dangerous and powerful sounding pieces. It's published by Wirrapang at australiancomposers.com.au. Well, this certainly meets the brief for dark, dangerous and powerful, as it has lots of big chords and strong dynamics. I'll play it through and then discuss the pedagogical benefits and the teaching strategies for those. You'll have noticed that this piece involves lots of key changes. Almost all of my music involves key changes, and these provide a wonderful opportunity for students to explore the changing landscape of the various keys, their sharps and flats, and the hand positions that work best within each. You'll also have noticed that there are lots of big chords and triads with their inversions. Together with the key changes, these provide a great opportunity to guide your students towards harmonic analysis. I use colour, specific colours, as you'll see in the colour chart which I've put on the side of the screen here. And I guide my students to work out the various chords, mapping out the harmonic change in the score so that they have a roadmap of what is happening in the music. It's important that you don't do this for them. For the learning to be meaningful, the student must work this out for themselves to be able to internalise it. Arm them with coloured pencils so that they can be erased if mistakes are made. Students must feel safe to make mistakes, otherwise the learning won't flow. It will feel stressful and unsafe. And then provide a template for which colour goes with which note or key, and keep these colours consistent so that they can use them with all of their music, always knowing which colours belong to which notes and keys. And then guide them through the process of working this out until they can comfortably work this out for themselves independently. It's a great exercise which can start at the earliest levels, and I do start this right from beginner level, and sets them up for a much greater understanding as they progress. So once the score has been coloured out for the chords, the student will be able to see at a glance which patterns are occurring in the music, what is the same and what is different, how frequently certain parts return, whether they're the same when they come back or whether they've changed somewhat. So they're looking for all the different nuance in the changing chords. They'll also be able to see with your guidance that the B section, which starts halfway through or starts at the beginning of page 3, is following the same patterns as the A section but using a different set of chords. So for instance, we open in A minor. And at the end of that page, it finishes off with a E chord again, which is then going to move back to A minor again before it has the descending circle of fifths. Now, when this happens in the second half, in the B section, we have got it happening in B minor. With an F sharp 7. And then again with an F sharp to finish. But instead of going back to B minor, we have got we're sitting around that F sharp chord, and again, instead of again going back to B minor, we've gone to starting off the descending circle of fifths in C minor. So it's changed completely. But what is good for the student to work out is, although that B section is in a different set of chords, starting on B minor instead of A minor, they can see that the relationship to each chord is the same if they work it out and they colour it, and with your guidance, of course. But also they can look at not just the harmonic analytical aspects, but also the effects that those have. By that second part, the B section stepping up to B minor, guide them to look at what the effect of that key change is as it steps up a tone, and the way that it heightens the intensity and the excitement of the piece. The same when we move into that second circle of fifths descending, and it's moved up a tone again, and they can be guided or prompted to see what effect that actually has on the listener when those key changes happen, when they're stepping up, but also cycling down through the circle of fifths. As they go downwards, what effect does that have as well? There's quite a lot to think about here, and quite a lot to guide them to think about objectively and to look at and to listen to. Pedalling is quite straightforward, legato pedalling, so no tricks in this piece. Structurally, this could be said to be in binary form with a coda and with a small bridge separating the two halves of the B section. I prefer to think of it more as song form, still binary, but following the structure of A, then B, then A, that's the B minor section, then a bridge, and then the B section, and then a coda. There are lots of different ways, I think, of looking at form these days. There are so many different types of music being written that I don't think we need to be constricted by straight binary, ternary, and their adaptations and so forth. I'd place this in the 3rd to 4th grade in the AMEB and ANZCA systems, and 4th to 5th grade in the ABRSM system. So I hope your students enjoy playing this as much as mine do. It's a very, very popular piece in my studio, especially with the tweens and teens. It's available both as a solo and as part of the entire Danger Zone collection from Wirrapang at australiancomposers.com.au. And if you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more tutorials published here, please subscribe to this channel by clicking on the link below or on the little button at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Thank you.